that caring is the center of who she is. She makes every effort to do all she can to help others achieve success. Classmates describe her as someone who goes out of her way to help, is unselfish, and a tremendous resource. As well as caring for her classmates, she cares deeply for her patients as well. To paraphrase this recipient, I always thought that I would be the one to give to others and I would be helping them out in the way that they needed. Yet that has not been the case. I have learned that by providing care for others, my life has been changed. This personal philosophy is what provides the foundation for empowering relationships built on respect and empathy. The faculty support letter acknowledges her accountability, dependability, and independence. Hospital staff readily identified her dedication and sought opportunities for her as a means of attracting her to their setting. The last of the values, and once again this recipient has internalized a quote, this time from Aristotle, that states, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit." Throughout her career in student, she has obtained either high or highest honors while managing a family, a job, and being actively involved in student activities. As amazing as this all sounds, she at least admits to being exhausted. After graduation, the recipient of this award will be employed as a nurse extern in an intensive care unit at a local hospital, and they are fortunate to have her as an employee. The college is honored to have her as this graduate joins our rank of alumni. On behalf of Bellin College, I am proud to announce this year's recipient of the Luciana Award of the Luciana Hitch Award is April Jensen.
Congratulations to April, and thank you, Joanne. At this time, I would like to say thank you to a special person for their continued support of the college mission, educating healthcare professionals for the future. This tribute is to a board member who has served on the board since 1985 and in a variety of roles. He continues to serve and provide outstanding advice and guidance. He served as the board chair several times, on the finance committee, a member of the development committee, and on the investment committee, and these are only just a few. He has completed many other assignments, tasks, and duties. He was responsible for assisting with the early financial establishment of the college, working on the first endowment campaign, and when we were considering moving to a new building, he worked with the CEO from Bellin Health to establish a 5-year pro forma and a 10-year financial plan. He loves numbers and has made finance a lifelong passion as his professional career. He provides the college with countless hours of dedicated work and commitment of his time and talent. And in his spare time, he enjoys working on the railroad, per se, as he has an amazing train collection in his home. I cannot comment enough on the wonderful things that Mr. Robert Clausen has done for Bellin College over the years. He has been a mentor to our board members and a dear friend to all. I would have never imagined that the board chair who signed my diploma when I was a graduate of Bellin just a few years back would have served as the board chair when I took over in my role as president. Today, Bellin College would like to honor Mr. Clausen and thank him for his support and dedication to us, to our students, and to our mission for the past 30 years. Bob, we would like to thank you. Would you please join me?
Thank you. Now I know why my wife wanted a ticket for today. Okay. some community involvement. I think I probably hold close to the record for not getting out of the job. But I've enjoyed every bit of it. I've been through 3 different buildings for this. Connie's the 4th president. And I think I joked just the other day to her at the board meeting that, one of these days I should graduate. But I truly appreciate the award and actually have even more appreciated the opportunity to serve Bellin College and all the nurses that have graduated through the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. The commencement address provides one last opportunity to share with each of you wisdom and insight for your career as a professional. The Leona Waraxa Commencement Address was established in 1995 by George and Kasha Kerwin in recognition of Kasha's mother, Leona, who provided many outstanding contributions to the profession of nursing and to the Bellin family. Leona is not able to join us today, but she did attend our senior breakfast yesterday. She has contributed significantly to the profession of nursing through her time, her talent, and her knowledge. Leona graduated from nursing school in 1944 and worked at Bellin on the cardiac unit known as 2 South for over 37 years. She interacted with interprofessional team of doctors, nurses, radiologic technologists, dietary, cardiac rehab, and many, many others. She was known for her leadership, her caring attitude, and her compassion for the profession. I spent a few minutes yesterday talking with Leona, and I said, "What do you remember most?" And she said to me, "I remember people telling me that when I got a job to do," she said, "they knew that I would get it done." So I want each and every one of you to remember that. When you're given a job in the profession, we believe that you're going to be the one who's going to get it done. We thank Leona today for her commitment and her contribution to the profession of nursing. Today we are honored to have Dr. Tina Sauerhammer, plastic and reconstructive surgeon from Prevea Health, with us as our commencement speaker. Dr. Sauerhammer will share with you that dreams are never free. She used and had to work very hard and was very dedicated to reach her goals. From entering college at the age of 14 to wearing the Miss Wisconsin crown to becoming Northeast Wisconsin's first fellowship-trained pediatric plastic surgeon, Dr. Sauerhammer's path has not been without hardship and tragic loss. She will inspire you to work hard and do the same. As a Green Bay native, she made the local headlines in 1999 after becoming the youngest person ever to graduate from the University of Wisconsin Green Bay at the age of 18. Then graduated from UW-Madison Medical School in 2003 at the age of 22. That same year, she was crowned Miss Wisconsin and then announced second runner-up in the Miss America competition, where she promoted the importance of organ and tissue donation, a cause very close to her heart after losing her father to kidney failure. Dr. Sauerhammer discovered another passion, caring for children in need of plastic and reconstructive surgeries, such as cleft lip and palate repair. During her surgery residency at the University of Wisconsin, she went on to complete a fellowship in pediatric and craniofacial plastic surgery at Children's National Medical Center in Washington, D.C., where she later served as the hospital's co-director of the burn service and clinical director of global health. One of Dr. Sauerhammer's most notable medical achievements came in 2011 when she participated in the first full face transplant ever to be performed in the United States. She has also spent time in the world's poorest countries to provide children with much needed medical care. After nearly 14 years away from her hometown and paving an amazing career path of success across the globe, Dr. Sauerhammer is back in Green Bay with a passion to serve the community she said helped make her successful in who she is today. She continues to care for children in need of a variety of reconstructive procedures for congenital deformities and procedures for those who have suffered from traumatic injuries. She has received several honors and awards and has done a multitude of presentations. She has conducted many research projects and has been published several times. In her spare time, she enjoys the piano, world traveling, and dining. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Tina Sauerhammer to the podium.
Thank you, Bellin College, for inviting me to speak today. It is truly an honor to be here amongst all of you, my newest medical colleagues, as we celebrate the start of your exciting careers in medicine. As a surgeon and as anyone working in the medical field, you quickly amass a vast mental library of stories, from the mundane to the morbid, about your patients, some of which can never be shared. Today I want to share a story about a procedure so incredible it wasn't even in the textbooks when I was a college student studying biology at the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. One March afternoon, I was rotating at Brigham and Women's Hospital, a large, old hospital in downtown Boston, steeped in history and a proving ground for cutting-edge medical innovations. I had just finished working on a case when my attending approached me with news that made me shake with anticipation. The hospital had just secured a potential donor for a face transplant, and we were to remain on standby as a part of a team of plastic surgeons who would perform the procedure. Now, I had done hundreds of cases before, but this was the type of once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that I moved to Boston for. Our patient was a 24-year-old construction worker from Fort Worth, Texas, who was involved in a gruesome construction accident. He was part of a volunteer crew painting a church when a boom lift he was operating drifted into a live wire. His face was horribly burned, and he was left in a coma for 3 months. After 22 experimental operations, he was functional, yet featureless. Brigham and Women's had been gearing up to perform the type of procedure that he needed for years, and everyone was struck when they heard the story out of Texas. The recipient wanted the face transplant so that he could once again feel a kiss from his 3-year-old daughter. At 2 a.m. the next morning, my pager started to buzz. I got out of bed, took a quick shower, threw on some scrubs, and ran down the street to the hospital. At that point, only one thing was on my mind. I was about to be a part of the first full face transplant in the United States. I had a good 4 hours of sleep, and as you know, that's all you need. And about 24 hours worth of adrenaline coursing through my veins. When I arrived in the OR, it was packed with nurses, anesthesiologists, photographers, and some of the world's most famous surgeons. When I approached our patient for the first time, I was taken aback by what I saw. A man with a face void of features. No nose, no eyes, no lips. It reminded me of bank robbers in the movies who wear nylons over their heads to cover their faces, only this was a mask of skin, and it was our job to heal him. At that moment, I came to the realization that we were truly the last chance for our patient and his daughter to get back any semblance of normal life. 18 hours of surgery followed, and we rotated in shifts. One of my jobs was to perform microsurgery on the patient, slowly and meticulously connecting the nerves on his burned face, one by one, to the nerves on the donor face. The organ we were transplanting consisted of skin, muscles, a nose, and lips from a completely different person. Over the hours I worked, I witnessed something incredible. The blood began slowly but surely flowing into the transplant, reanimating his new face and giving his humanity new life. 15 years ago, this was science fiction. Now it was happening right before my eyes. When our patient's daughter visited for the first time, she saw her dad's new face and she said, "Daddy, you're so handsome." Transplant surgery has been a part of my life for many years. When I was in medical school, my father fell prone to a rare autoimmune illness called Wegener's disease. My dad's kidneys failed, and he was put on a long wait list for a kidney transplant that he needed to survive. I was competing for Miss Wisconsin at the time, and on the night of the pageant, he was in the audience, cheering me on, as he missed the call from UW Hospital. My dad was bumped back to the bottom of the transplant list, and he died shortly thereafter. Just like the daughter of my face transplant recipient, I am an only child, so I can begin to imagine in some way what that family was going through, what they had lost. My father missed his chance, but that night of the face transplant, I had the opportunity to help give a daughter, just like myself, the chance to see her father again. I look back on that night often, and I wonder how I even got there. If you ask me, it was just at the right place at the right time. I've been riding the coattails of my education for my whole life, and it has presented me with so many opportunities I never dreamed of as a young girl playing the game Operation in my parents' basement. At the age of 14, working at my own pace with the encouragement of my teachers, I was able to finish my entire high school coursework and prepare for college. The University of Wisconsin-Green Bay took a big chance on me, admitting their youngest ever student, a skinny 14-year-old half-Korean girl with a funny name. I was living at home and too young to get a driver's license. Thankfully, my mother drove me to class every day. I was even more grateful to my college professor for excusing me from my physics quiz sophomore year so that I could take my driving test. 4 years flew by, and the next thing I know, I'm sitting where all of you are, waiting to walk across the stage. Not even old enough to drink a celebratory beer afterwards. I attended medical school at the University of Wisconsin in Madison, and 5 months before I was supposed to walk across yet another stage, I lost my father. I graduated, but I knew there was something bigger I needed to do before continuing on with my career path. My father lost his one and only chance for a kidney transplant the night of the pageant because of me. I wanted to give him back that chance, and I was going to do that by being a national voice for organ and tissue donation as Miss America. What happened next was everything I asked for and more. I won the title of Miss Wisconsin, and because of my personal connection with organ and tissue donation, and because I was the first and only Miss America contestant who was a physician, I received a lot of national press. By the time the actual competition arrived, I had already given organ and tissue donation a national voice, and wearing Miss America crown wasn't as important anymore. I ended up placing second runner-up to Miss America, was able to share my father's story on the Miss America stage, and was now ready to accomplish what I set out to do in the first place, which was to become a pediatric surgeon. I traded my Miss Wisconsin crown in for a pair of scrubs. I started my surgery internship the day after I gave up my Miss Wisconsin title. General surgery residency at UW Hospital followed, where I basically lived in the operating room for 5 years, and I loved every minute of it. I realized my passion for pediatric plastic surgery in my intern year when I saw my first cleft lip repair and worked towards getting accepted into a plastic surgery fellowship after residency. 7 years later, I found myself in Boston on that unforgivable night of the face transplant. When I look out into the audience, I see a throng of young, beautiful, confident graduates at the peak of your lives. You now have the educational foundation from Bellin College to achieve the same level of success that I found. But I also know there's some fear and unease out there. You face an uncertain economy and job market in a changing country and world. Throughout your medical training, you've had the safety net of being a student, and it's scary when that's taken away from you. Trust me, I'm a doctor. I went through 8 years of residency and fellowship training after medical school, and I still didn't feel ready when I first went into practice. But what I've learned, and one of the coolest things about our field, is that we are a team fighting for our patients. We are in this together, and just like the players on any other team, we help each other out. I'm so thankful for the cardiothoracic nurse who taught me how to manage my first hypotensive patient, the radiology tech who was the familiar face when a trauma came in the middle of the night, and the orderly who asked me if I was okay when he saw me out in the hall in tears because my patient wasn't doing well. And when things don't go well, because they're not always going to go well, you'll be tempted to give in to your fear and the voices that say it's too hard, don't try, no you can't. I know because I've heard those voices, but I'm confident that you too will reject them. Mary Ann Williamson said, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful, beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be? Brilliant? Gorgeous? talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? After my time in Boston, I had the amazing opportunity to live in our nation's capital, where I did a fellowship in pediatric plastic surgery and later was in practice at Children's National Medical Center for the last 2 years before I came back home here. I saw some incredible things, like the planning and execution of separating a set of conjoined twins. I also saw some not so incredible things, like reconstructing a 5-year-old girl who had both of her ears torn off by a group of dogs. While I was making a difference in the lives of my individual patients and their families, I didn't feel like I was making a big enough difference. So I looked at what I could do globally. One of the reasons why I chose pediatric plastic surgery was to be able to provide care to underserved populations. And during my time in Washington, I had the opportunity to go on several mission trips to Haiti, Togo in West Africa, and Jordan. My experiences traveling to these countries really reminded me of why I wanted to be a doctor in the first place, which was to help people. The patients I served in these third world countries had some of the most severe deformities and pathology that I've ever seen, and they were so grateful for anything we could do to make them just a little bit better. Going on these types of trips will always be a part of my medical practice, but I've come to realize that you don't have to travel to the other side of the world to make a difference. You can start right here in your own community, and that is what brought me back home to my roots in Green Bay. When I came back home less than a year ago to start my practice, I asked to sit in on the final round of interviews for the nurse who was to be working with me. Chelsea was the first candidate. She was fresh out of LPN school, and I asked her what her ultimate ambitions were. Then I proceeded to tell her that if she were to get this position, I would want her to love her job, of course, and like working with me, but that I would expect her to grow so that she would eventually strive for greater things beyond working with me. Chelsea got the job, and I have been so impressed with her level of competency in such a short time. And after a couple months working together, she mentioned that day in the interview, and first of all stated how intimidating I was, telling her about my grand aspirations for her. But then she proceeded to tell me that after working with me and realizing her own potential, she finally understood what I was talking about, and now wants to advance her career by attending nursing school to become a registered nurse. Today we celebrate the pinnacle of all your hard work and perseverance. You have earned this moment and the honor of wearing these extremely flattering caps and gowns. But you can't stop today. Today has to be the beginning, not the end, of your journey towards bigger and greater things. Don't stop dreaming. Don't stop striving for something new, and never give up on the pursuit of knowledge. Thank you, Bellin College, and in the words of Aaron Rodgers, let's get after it, class of 2015.
Thank you, Dr. Sauerhammer, for sharing such inspirational message with our graduates and our audience. The class of 2015 is special in many ways. Each of you developed deep connections that provide memories that will last a lifetime. Each of you brought a unique presence to the college and challenged the faculty with your questions. We are not going to be giving away tests for extra credit. Didn't someone have that request yesterday? Team testing? We want you to be a team, but not in that moment. As the college president, I hope that the pride you feel when you walk across the stage today is remembered by the friendships you have formed and the degree that you have earned. Commencement is more than just saying goodbye. Today's ceremony provides us with the opportunity to reflect on the spirit that defines your class, to celebrate the knowledge you have acquired and created, and to look forward to your exciting career in healthcare. During these past years, I have had the opportunity to get to know you, your individualness, and your uniqueness. When I reflect back on the contributions you have brought to the community through your clinical experiences, service learning, and volunteering, I am very amazed at the many lives you have touched during your educational journey. Your class is reflective of our values of excellence, integrity, community, and caring. Our goal at Bellin College is to equip each of you with the knowledge, the skills, and the abilities that you need to act on your values and to make the world a better place. I have witnessed your class making a difference. You have a solid foundation, use it well. I have witnessed you demonstrate this through your communication, your research, and your collaboration. The faculty members pushed you to learn from one another and to devote yourselves to studying. As a Bellin College student, resilience is required to survive and thrive in our classrooms, labs, and clinicals. You all know that. The faculty encouraged you to learn from one another, to solve complex problems, and to think critically. They encouraged you to pick yourself up and to continue trying, even when you thought it was impossible. You also learned about the business of healthcare, what it is, why it is important, and how you are going to make a difference. For me, the exceptional factor is that I look forward to seeing each of you put this education to work. You are talented, you are diverse, and I am confident that you will make each and every one of us proud. As you explore the world of healthcare, remember the time that you spent with us at Bellin College. Keep in touch with one another. Stretch your imagination and stretch your spirit. To the class of 2015, you are very unique and special to each of us. Best wishes to you as you begin your new career. It is time now that we hear from a class representative of nursing and radiologic sciences. First, I would like to welcome April Jensen, graduating nurse, to the podium. April grew up in Illinois and relocated to Pound, Wisconsin after marrying the man of her dreams, Brian Jensen. They have 2 daughters, Kirsten 9 and Eliza 7. April says that the girls are the center of her life. She shared that it can be summarized in 3 words: outdoorsy, happy, and very busy. April became interested in health sciences during high school, but was not able to finish a college degree immediately after high school. She and her husband started a logging business after their marriage, and she became a stay-at-home mom. After 5 years, she felt it was time to return to college and achieve that degree. She knew she wanted to be a nurse, and this came possible after enduring 12 hours of open-heart surgery at the age of 20. She said she was drawn to Bellin College because of the bachelor's degree, the small class sizes, and she said it felt like family. April has been very active during her time at Bellin and served on Student Senate, IHI Open School, and is a member of Sigma Theta Tau. After graduation, she will be working in the intensive care unit at Aurora Bay Care in Green Bay. She also is looking into attending graduate school to either pursue a degree as a nurse practitioner or nurse educator. Joining April today is her husband Brian, her 2 daughters, her parents, and her in-laws. Please join me in welcoming April Jensen to the podium.
Thank you. This is a big deal. I don't think I will ever follow a Miss Wisconsin person again in my life. So this is fantastic. I just might stand here and say nothing. Good morning. It's great to be here. We're graduating. This is amazing. This is awesome. I have to flip pages because I kind of change things around a little bit. First off, so I'm representing nursing as a whole as a speaker. So I want to thank her parents first and foremost. You raised us for 18 years. You taught us. You instilled in us values, caring values, the value of loving others and serving others. And that's why we're here as nurses, because we care about others. I'm grateful for my own parents. I love them. And I've had some big moments in my life, and this is one of them, and they've been there every step of the way. Next, I want to thank our spouses, fiancés, boyfriends, girlfriends. You guys are amazing. The support you give us. We couldn't do it without your support, and we know you are elated that we're done.